Hi there, this is Åsa with a new process video, and today I'm going to work with this photo of hubby and my son, our son, and they are eating ice cream sitting by like a camping table in the nature, and sun is shining. And this is the companion page to the one that I made with my daughter. She's a dime that published a couple of days ago, and then when I did that voiceover I talked about that something more was going to happen with that day, and today I'm going to take care of that memory, and I'm going to write some journaling on this page and tell the story, and that will also explain the title, which is, yeah, you'll see that later. Anyway, this photo and the other photo of the ice cream eaters was taken on the second day of our vacation, and it was a Sunday, and we went to a zoo. It's a very special zoo. They have the Swedish animals, wild animals, so no tigers or like lions and or elephants, just the Swedish ones. But that's not a little. They have many animals, and it's very interesting to see them in their environment as they're supposed to live. Even though it's enclosed, it's really natural. And the zoo, it's situated on a hillside, so you basically walk on these wooden paths in the zoo, and then you have all the animal enclosures to the sides of this path. And it's steep uphill for the first half, and then it's downhill when you have reached kind of the half of the zoo or the exhibition. And we had a lovely morning. We had breakfast at the hotel or the resort, and we packed the car, and we had lots of bottles of water with us because it was hot, and really nice nice time. We were looking forward to go into this zoo. We had been there many years before, and it was definitely time to go there again. And we started this walk, and we looked at the animals, and we went to the petting zoo, and it was really nice. It was hot, and it was sunny, and we had ice cream and enjoying ourselves. When we had gotten, say, perhaps a third of this path around the exhibition, we came to the like the carnivores, the bear and the wolves and the foxes and the wolverine, and there we watched when the caretakers fed the animals, and it was very interesting, and we talked to the caretaker, and it was really nice, and yeah, we got a really nice contact there, and the kids got to ask questions. And then when we were there, the thunder started. And since this zoo is situated on the hillside, and there were lots of other hills nearby, the sound of the thunder, it was enormous. The bangs, my daughter, she was so afraid, and we tried to calm her, and the rest of us, we are pretty excited by the thunder. It's a powerful expression of nature, and we tried to calm her down, and oh wow, it's what a fantastic display of power of the nature. Yeah. And you know, with thunder sometimes comes skyfall. Yeah. And we had gotten half the exhibition course, and we were on the top of the mountain, and it started raining. First it was just you know, that warm kind of summer drizzle, and the raindrops started to get larger and larger and larger, and then eventually it just poured down. It was so much water. We basically became soaked to our bare skin, and it was, yeah, I don't think that I have been as close to bathing with my clothes on before ever in my life. We were so soaking wet, it was just hilarious. Thankfully it wasn't cold really, because it was in the middle of the summer and the day was really, really warm, but we were so wet. And then we totally realized that we were noobs on this kind of adventure kind of experience, so we realized that we had no extra clothes in the car. We had a couple of extra, like, thicker sweatshirts and those stuff for the kids, you know, so they won't get cold, but we didn't have extra trousers, we didn't have extra socks, we didn't have extra underwear. Yeah, we just laughed. We couldn't do anything else. We just laughed. We were equipped with lots of towels. So oh, you can see this in front of you, can't you? It was just hilarious, and we couldn't really run down the path and out of the zoo, so we walked as fast as we could and still tried and have a good time soaking wet. And we even looked at some of the animals. The rest of the other half of the display had lots of birds of prey, and we even tried to take photos, but you know, you bring out your camera and you're totally afraid that it will be destroyed by this heavy rainfall. We didn't have umbrellas or anything like that. Yeah, it was an experience and I will never forget it. So this layout, it will be about this moment in time when these guys are sitting here by the camping table. They are pretty much soaked in sunshine and eating ice cream, having the time of their lives, and within the next 30 minutes they will be soaking wet and they have no clue. So that is what I'm going to tell with this layout. I have brought out my silhouette and I have cut out the title for this page on white cardstock, and now I'm coloring it in with my Heidi Swap Color Shine with a paintbrush just from the bottle. I just shook the bottle around so that all the lovely pigments and glimmer shines will come up into the liquid, and then I'm painting with a paintbrush. And at first I was a little bit at shock how I could do this on top of the cutting mat, but luckily it didn't make any marks on the cutting mat, and it didn't affect the stickiness of the mat either, so it was fine. I didn't use too much paint, so it didn't go through the paper as much. And but it was a really convenient way of coloring the letters when they were still stuck to the cutting mat. So here I have chosen a font that has kind of the dripping effect. I think it was a Halloween font. I guess it's supposed to look like dripping blood. It's one of those spooky kind of fonts, but in this case it will be water. And I colored it in with this grayish kind of blue color shine, and here is the other portion of the title. It will consist of 3 different fonts. You're going to get soaked, it says, with these colored or painted letters, and then up on that huge simple stories portion, that 12 by 6 or 12 by perhaps 10 strip, it will say you don't know it yet, but you're going to get soaked. So that's the story. And now it's time to glue everything down. The papers that I'm using for this layout is from the Sunshine and Happiness collection from Simple Stories, and it's a combination of cut apart sheets and 6x6 papers. The ice cream paper, for example, it is from the 6x6 paper pad. And yeah, the others are die cuts and cutouts that I've made. I've cut them out. The ice cream truck, I've cut that one out of a card. And then the bird and the pie chart is from the die cut package. And now it's just a lot of assembly to be done. So when we had gotten out of the zoo, eventually we tried to get rid of the most of those clothes that were soaking wet. And me, for example, I sat the whole way back to the resort with a towel around my waist, like I was fresh from the bath. And the only one that had clothes that were dry was hubby, so he got us lunch. So we had lunch in the car, like sausage or hot dogs, and then we drove back to the resort, and we hang all our clothes up on the fence around our patio and to dry. And it kind of, yeah, it drifted away, this memory. When I think back on this vacation, I don't think much of this event, really. It's more like, yeah, oh yeah, you remember? It's not any of the first memories that come to mind. It's just, it kind of, yeah, it's kind of drifted away. But now, when I'm at home and dry, it's just fun to remember it. We were in no harm, no harm. Just clothes getting wet. I'm happy that the kids were as old as they were, because if we had even younger kids, it would have been more of a problem. But this was okay. I'm using old alpha stickers from Simple Stories to spell the first part of the title. You don't know it yet, but you're going to get sorted. You don't know it yet, but and I'm spelling those so that I have one color per word, and cutting them apart, making a little white border, and then I'm going to place that one up on the sky there. I thought that the layout first was going to be made on top of a white cardstock, but this kind of rain blue sky colored piece was a lot better, and I thought it fitted the theme perfectly. And then I'm writing my journaling onto these white strips of cardstock, and I'm arranging them in 3 different spots where I had empty space left on the page. And yeah, this is pretty much it. Nothing more is going to happen. I'm filling in so that I get the Swedish. Oh, it was an apostrophe there in don't. It's good to have a white pen at hand so that you can do the changes that you need to do when your letters are just the standard ones. For apostrophes and different signs, and also then for the dots and rings of the Swedish alphabet. Yeah, here's the finished page. I outlined it to make it a little bit more contained, and hopefully you enjoy this process as much as I did. And yeah, next time we go on an adventure, we'll make sure to bring extra clothes. You always learn something from your adventures. Thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you soon again. Take care. This is Åsa. Bye!